In less than a week's time of unrest, over 300 businesses have been destroyed in the Twin Cities area. The violence and looting have spread to several other cities. I watched YouTube videos that showed levels of destruction that I would never thought possible. In New York and Los Angeles, thousands of people were moving with military precision to strip the whole city blocks of anything of value. There are groups that are using highly organized efforts to orchestrate violence on a nationwide basis. The most shocking thing is that 40,000 police in New York were unable to contend with the mobs of people who have no regard for the law. The unrest has been the most widespread in the United States since 1968, when cities went up in flames over the slaying of civil rights icon Martin Luther King Jr., and rekindled memories of 1992 riots in Los Angeles after police were acquitted in the brutal beating of black motorist Rodney King. But the whole Black Lives Matter movement isn't doing African Americans any good. Over the past 6 years, the value of life has been in steady descent with each major incident. On August 9, 2014, Michael Brown Jr., an 18-year-old black man, was fatally shot by 28-year-old white Ferguson police officer Darren Wilson in the city of Ferguson, Missouri. Michael Brown pushed Officer Wilson back into his squad car and proceeded to punch him in the face. They struggled for the officer's gun. Michael Brown then continued to beat the officer nearly unconscious. Wilson gained full control of his weapon and shot Ferguson 6 times. November 24, 2014. A St. Louis County grand jury had decided not to indict Wilson. On March 4, 2015, the U.S. Department of Justice reported the conclusion of its own investigation and cleared Wilson of civil rights violations in the shooting. On April 12, 2015, Baltimore Police Department officers arrested Freddie Gray, a 25-year-old African-American resident of Baltimore, Maryland. Gray sustained injuries to his neck and spine while in a transport police vehicle. On April 18, 2015, after Gray's subsequent coma, the residents of Baltimore protested in front of the Western District Police Station. Gray died the following day, April 19, 2015, a week after the arrest. On May 1, 2015, Gray's death was ruled by a medical examiner to be a homicide. 6 officers were charged with the various offenses, including second-degree murder in connection with Gray's death. 3 officers were subsequently acquitted in July 2016. Following the acquittals, Baltimore City State Attorney Marilyn Mosby dropped charges against the remaining 3 officers. The death of George Floyd seems to be an open and shut case. The officer had his knee on Floyd's neck for 10 minutes. Despite Floyd saying he can't breathe and witnesses telling the officer on video of the problem, he continued to apply pressure to Floyd's neck long after he quit breathing. Derek Chauvin, the officer involved in Floyd's death, had 17 complaints filed against him during his career. But folks, the root of the problem is the collapse of our moral foundation, and we have been given over to the pitfalls of sin. The only form of moral compass we have today is from Democratic mayors and governors that issue meaningless platitude. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio is blaming the violence being seen at protests in Brooklyn and Manhattan on people with a warped ideology. Speaking to Spectrum News, de Blasio said, "A small number of people at these protests are clearly trying to incite violence against the police and create property damage and vandalism." Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, "This is about violence and we need to make sure it stops. We're in the middle of a pandemic right now. We have 2 crises that are sandwiched on top of one another." Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, "Let's be very clear. The situation in Minneapolis is no longer in any way about the murder of George Floyd. It's about attacking civil society, instilling fear, and disrupting our great cities." My friends, the greatest threat to blacks isn't from police officers or even the Ku Klux Klan. Read the FBI crime statistics. Check out white on black crime, black on white crime, and black on black crime. Is the truth racist? Do numbers in this instance lie? An important underlying factor is the gangsta subculture that is so alluring to minority youth. And no, I didn't attack a skin color. I've addressed a destructive mindset of machismo, violence, profanity, prolific promiscuity, and lawlessness that directly leads to low expectations, broken families, substance abuse, poverty, and death. Until it's addressed forthrightly by blacks and whites, this problem isn't going away. BET founder Bob Johnson unveiled a $14.7 trillion reparations plan. He looks at it as an investment. Unless white America recognizes the need for reparations to atone for slavery, the country will remain separate and unequal, says Johnson. Some folks seem to be taking their reparations early in payment of shoes, jewelry, and other looted goods. Look, I am greatly concerned that the luxuries that blacks already have will soon be taken away from them. Our economy is on the brink of calamity. We cannot keep pumping trillions of dollars into a system that has no ability to service its debt. When the dollar crashes in value and the welfare state quits working, people will make this recent violence look like a Sunday picnic. When the unrest reaches a level that threatens the stability of the government, military action becomes the only way to restore order. The tear gas will be replaced with live rounds, and fear and death will replace the rule of law. And now I'm going to share with you a video I came across today, which I consider the voice of reason, the hard truth. This video will wrap up today's message, so thank you for listening. God bless you all. Please be safe.
Here it is, here it is, here it is. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. We are at a critical crux point in this country, and I find it hilarious to see where everyone stands. Yeah. Riots, looting, George Floyd. George Floyd. This is not even about George Floyd anymore. George Floyd. Nobody cares about George Floyd. George Floyd's brother is like, please stop. He wouldn't want this. His wife, please stop. He wouldn't want This ain't about George Floyd. We know. Antifa, the far left, they are trying to take down this country from the inside out. By God, man, people do not understand. I'm talking to my black friends. A lot of them are lost. They think this is real. Mostly because they get most of their news from nowhere, from nonsensical sources that, make shit up most of the time. They think this is real. I talk to some of my white friends. They think this is real. They want a virtue signal and say, oh, I stand with black people because, I don't know what's going on and I'm scared. The truth of the matter is everyone's scared right now. Everyone's scared right now because basically the left, Antifa, the progressives have kicked over the board. It's like Trump was playing chess with the left. It's like we were playing chess with the left and they got mad and just kicked over the board right when we were winning. They just want to kick over the board and make all the pieces move wherever they want them to go. The sad part is this will devastate black communities more than it ever had before. The insurance rates will go up in the areas where this looting happened. The property will be valueless. It will be literally worth nothing. We saw this happen in Baltimore. We saw this happen in Ferguson. After the riots and the burning and the looting, people snatched up the properties for pennies on the dollar. No black people bought these properties. It was all a bunch of rich people who came in afterwards. The Chinese are going to buy up these properties on pennies on the dollar if we're not careful. And you're just burning it all down to the ground. You are so stupid. I'm not talking to you guys, but these looters, these protesters, even people who are out there peacefully protesting, you are a useful idiot right now. And I say this with love because my heart is hurting, man. My heart is hurting. There's like people actually out there that think this is about racism. And it's like, bless their hearts. Bless their f***ing hearts that they think this is about racism. It's not, man. This is an undercover, covert, secret war going on right now. I don't know if anybody saw this, but Hillary Clinton had a deposition today. She's, in federal court. A federal court of appeals is looking at her case again about these emails. What better way to distract from all of their crimes than to say Trump is a criminal? Trump's holding up a Bible. He shouldn't do that. Oh my God. But Nancy Pelosi gladly gets up there and puts a Bible verse out. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No one here is more righteous than anyone else. We're all human beings. And when I see someone getting smashed over the head who had nothing to do with George Floyd's death, when I see a woman getting beaten down, there's no more law. There's no more order. Guaranteed, these people think that they're having some kind of revolution. And it's moronic because you know all you're asking for is 10 to 15 years of Republican conservative rule right now, right? That's all you're going to get. It's a total distraction. This is about 2020. This is about November. This is about hurting people. This is about hurting more black people, which is crazy. It's like the people that you trust, the Democrats who are being so nice to you, they are the ones butt raping you right now, telling you to go burn up your city, telling you to go burn up black businesses, telling you that you're justified in your anger. I'm angry right now. And you know what? People are not going to put up with this. I'm seeing white women bow down on the street and saying, oh, I'm sorry for my sins of being a white person. What? No sense of self-preservation. No sense of self-preservation. I don't want to see anybody bowing down to anybody for anything that they didn't do that took place 500 years ago. Come on now. This ain't about race. You got a bunch of people who have been in their house wasting their sexual energy, watching porn, watching Netflix, watching a bunch of leftist propaganda about racism, watching CNN, getting paid from the government, getting unemployment. They're pent up. They got nothing to do. They realize they ain't got nothing to live for. They're scared because they think the end of the world is coming. And they're the ones bringing it in. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Black people think they're going to get some kind of justice. No, you're just going to put yourself further in chains. This just makes it harder for me to walk down the street because now people are looking at me like I'm going to do something to them. I'm not going to do anything to you. You're making it harder for black people yourself. When you go out there and you don't even have to be burning and looting. We know it's Antifa. We know they're setting you up. But when you keep going with it like, no, I know they're setting us up, but this might lead to something good. You're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. I'm talking to my friends and I'm like, I get it, dude. The black community has had so much trauma, so much pain. I get it. I know I'm not a criminal. I get it, man. But he's sitting there telling me to, well, be sensitive. I'm like, dude, you're not even out there on the streets. The people out there throwing bricks are not giving a shit about sensitivity right now. Most of the black people I'm talking to are trying to have little psychological therapy circles, which is like good for them, man. I get your trauma out. But that's not what the people on the streets are doing. They're throwing bricks at people's heads. They're jumping police officers in New York City. The little thugs out there with nothing to lose. How is this going to help the black community when you burn down everything? The kids aren't even going to be able to go to school next year. Then what are they going to do? They're just going to join gangs. You're a idiot. Every last one of you, I'm sorry. Not my followers, not people who understand this, but I'm just like all these people out here promoting it. I'm talking to my new age friends because I am spiritual and they're new age bullshit propaganda. Oh, this is the destruction and the evolution. This is Kali working her way around the globe. You're not out there, jackass. You're not out there. If you were out there risking your life, then I might have some more respect for you. But you're just saying this is evolution. Okay. All right. Whatever. I'm sorry, man. I am ranting because I'm just like, people do not understand how bad it can get when you promote lawlessness. There's a reason why this country is so great, and they're so spoiled, and they've never actually experienced anything that they don't understand how bad shit can get real quick. Real quick. It can get real bad real quick, and you're going to get justice. Who do you think owns all the 350 million firearms in this country? The majority of those people are white and live in the suburbs, and they're not going to bow down and tell you how sorry they are for being white. I'm sorry. I'm not an Uncle Tom. I'm not an Uncle Tom for saying that. It's just a fact. It's like saying it's raining right now. It's just a fact. I'm sorry. People better wake the man, because what you're going to do is you're going to wake up. If you keep going this way, you're going to wake up in a rundown city with a torn down neighborhood with crime everywhere, and then you're just gonna be waiting on your government check. There ain't gonna be no police to help you because, well, if I help them or if I accidentally do something, I'm gonna be on the news all day. I'm gonna get sued. It's like you're basically making it so that you're less safe, you're less successful, you're less everything. Everything. And it's just self-fulfilling prophecy. Black people are told day after day, you're being hunted. You're a victim. And they go, yeah, I'm a victim. I'm being hunted. So what do? Like children, they just rant and rave and just cry and burn shit, break shit, because Antifa's telling them to do it. So if they get permission from the mainstream media and the news media that has literally betrayed them for the last 3 decades in a row, every time, the media will go, ooh, we love black people, and then turn around and go, look at this black person. Guaranteed. They're going to betray you again. They're going to shit on you again. And they're going to leave you in your neighborhood. And then they'll come visit you with their little cameras and go, how does it feel to live in this ghetto? And you'll be like, oh, I'm so sad. And then they'll promote that again and say, look at how much of a victim you are. And then it'll just keep going. It just keeps happening. That's how the Democrats keep their slaves. That's how the Democrats keep their slaves. Man, I'm just so mad because it's like, I do not think people understand how challenging it is and how lonely it is to be an educated black person. I'm not over here. I'm not going to side with you, homie, if you start talking about how bad black people are. I'm not with you, bro. I'm a black person. I'm not with you, but I will agree with you on facts. I'm not going to sit there and shake hands with you and go, yeah. Aren't these N-words the worst? No, I'm not a self-hating black person. But what I am is an educated black person that sees the game, been taught the game, and I know what's going on. And it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's a cycle that keeps repeating itself. When you have 6 major corporations that own the prisons, and all they do all day is promote a culture that tells you if you don't go to jail, you're not a man. Part of manhood, or part of the journey to manhood is going to prison. And that's what you really believe. And you see a bunch of people who went to prison, but now they're millionaires and they got Ferraris and girls and, oh, wow, maybe I should go to prison too. And then I'll come out and get a bunch of Ferraris and women. And that's not how it works. But people are fooled, man. So now here we are again. The kids ain't been in school. They ain't got nothing to do. Bunch of losers out in New York City. Hey, man, you gonna come with me and riot? If you don't riot, it's peer pressure. If you don't riot, then you're not down with the cause, man, and I don't like you, and you're not cool, and I'm gonna make fun of you. It's like, it's just peer pressure. So these people go out, and it's just, what else is there to do in the summertime right now? Oh, there's no baseball games. There's no nothing right now. There's no events. You can't go to the movie theater. No crowds more than 12 people, right, or something like that. Okay, but you can go out and destroy every opportunity that you have in the future. I do not worship the God of entropy. I don't worship that God. I've been watching a lot of Mark Passio, and Mark Passio, he was a Satanist. He studied it all and he walked away from it. And he says the Satanists do not believe in moral relativism. It is one of their sins to be morally relativistic. That was a tongue twister. But that's all we've been fed in our society. Well, it's okay. And that's all you see right now is black people going out and saying, well, it's okay for black people to do it, but it's not okay for white people to do it because I feel a certain way. How egotistical is that? How mindless is that? I just get more mad at the people who are my friends who are in the New Age movement, or they think they're spiritual, or even people who think that they're, connected to God, and then they go, well, it's been happening to us for so long, so it might. No. I thought you were spiritual, man. I thought you could see past. We're all light and inside of a human shell, right? Like, it's just hypocrisy upon hypocrisy upon hypocrisy when you find that people will find any excuse to make themselves feel better about themselves. And at this point, after we had Barack Obama, after we've had years of rich black people all over television programming our young black kids to think that you get rich by acting like a damn fool. That's how you get rich. Snoop Dogg acts like a damn fool and gets high all the time, and look how rich he is. It's like it's a game, it's a trick, it's a con. He's not high all the time. You can't do that. And if he is high all the time, he's working while he's high. He can function or something, but that's what our kids have been programmed with. That's what white kids have been programmed with now. I see white kids that are more ghetto than black kids now. That's what I'm saying. It's like our whole culture has been inundated with moral relativism, with thuggery, with glorified violence seen through simulation in movies and video games. People don't even know what it looks like when somebody dies. So when they see it on tape, they lose their minds. Everybody just... I don't know. I don't care if you believe in God or not or whatever. It's just so sad, but it's just like I'm praying for everybody that this doesn't hurt them as badly as it could, because I love people. I don't love black people or white people or Asian people. I mean, I actually do, but I just love people, man. And it's just like that's being lost right now. That's being lost right now because you want to feel like you're the most important shit on the planet. And the sad thing is, it's not even about you, black folks. You're a pawn in somebody else's game. You're a pawn in Antifa and George Soros's game. You're a pawn in Hillary Clinton's game. You're a pawn. You're not even really in control. There hasn't been a real legitimate black movement since the Black Panthers, and that was fully infiltrated at one point. It's just like, you don't even know how to organize. And then they just look at this old 50-year-old footage and think, yeah, it's like, you're a bot. You're a complete moron. It's just... I'm sorry for ranting and raving, y'all. I'm a tired, sad, intelligent, compassionate black man, dude. That's all I am, dude. It's just like, we exist. We really do. It's, we really do, man. It's, these people they don't have kids, most of them. Some of them do, and they're just morons. They don't know. They just taking their kids to these protests. They're just moronic. But a lot of these people don't have kids. They don't have future. They're loaded with student loan debt, which I got a lot of student loan debt, but you don't see me out there trying to burn buildings down. Thank you guys for watching. I love all y'all. Stay safe. Just understand that we're all humans, and, you know, let's just try to keep our emotions, you know, not under control, but like, let's manage them so that we can express them as best as they need to be expressed. All right. I love you guys. Peace out. Thank you. Share this video, because I think it's important, and